episode of
The Ed Factor. We are just out of the cinema here from watching Burning Ambition.
Yep. So we haven't done anything for quite a considerable amount of time. So we've been a bit busy with life and stuff, but we had to get back on and get sharing our thoughts on this most amazing Maiden moment. And we're just out, Andy, and we're going to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, brilliant time.
Brilliant. Really, really, really insightful. I think it's a great watch for Maiden fans, casual or the hardcore fans like
absolutely.
us. It's not a blow-by-blow account, but probably more of a thematic wander
like
through
an oral history, kind of like what we've been trying to do with the podcast for all the years. But like an oral history of Maiden. It's a love letter to Maiden as well.
Yeah.
And really it was just nestled in the high points of Maiden, the things that you really need to know about, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And took you right to last year's 50th anniversary shows.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. I think at its heart, you said a love letter to Maiden. That was what was at the core of it, was that sense of family and community that Maiden has. And that sounds really cliched and a bit cheesy, but actually it's true. You know, you think about us walking through Budapest.
Yeah, that's right, last year.
You know, and you see someone in a Maiden t-shirt and you just do that and you say hello. You know, I can think about sitting in Athens with my better half, having a coffee, and there was a guy playing this beautiful fingerstyle guitar, and he had an Iron Maiden t-shirt on. I had my Maiden t-shirt on. He finished his set and came over and started, "Hello, you're a Maiden fan," and started speaking to me. You know, it's that kind of thing, and it's just true.
It is. It really is. It's the universal language of Maiden.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. And a lot of the contributors are, you know, really insightful, some great stuff, relevant to their lives. Also, Javier Bardem, the actor, absolutely class.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So it was a kind of the contributors were a mixture of super fans.
Yeah.
Some of them
content creators,
podcast makers.
Yeah.
Some rock stars, as you would expect to, you know, Gene Simmons, Lars Ulrich, Tom Morello, Scott Ian.
Yeah.
And other guys who work in the media, you know, band photographers, music journalists, that kind of thing. And obviously the band themselves are not so much being seen talking, but voiceover with a lot of kind of archive footage.
Steve gives you a really good reason why, but you know, I'll leave that for you to discover yourself. Great representation as well from both Paul and Blaze.
And
a good nod to Clive Burr as well.
Yes, thought it
just nice, you know.
Wasn't it? Respectful, tasteful. Clive was a brilliant drummer. You know, Paul Di'Anno played his, you know, a huge part in the rise of the band in the early days, and Blaze played a huge part in flying the flag for Iron Maiden at a time when heavy metal was really unpopular, and it was really the diehard fans that stuck with the band, and they were really up against it, and Blaze got them through that time. So it paid tribute to all three.
And what was great about that, and anybody who watches this channel and the content, we are massive Blaze fans, but I didn't skip over the Blaze era. I gave it the time that it deserved.
It did. It did.
You know, obviously, with the caveat that it wasn't a very massive or productive time probably for the band, but it was really good. And and the whole resurgence thing is where we sort of felt the most, the newest stuff for us.
For us, all the classic kind of 80s era, you know, has been covered in the previous history stuff, days, you know, early days and that. So really, for me, I think you feel the same, Chris. In this, really from No Prayer of the Dying onwards was new ground.
Yeah.
Interesting Adrian's call on that. And I thought quite insightful little interviews with Bruce and with the band, and Steve Harris didn't look too happy. And you know, as in these were
off-camera stuff,
clips off the camera stuff from 1990.
Yeah.
You know, just the vibe obviously wasn't right in the band. I think Bruce says it was a blow to him. I think in particular Adrian leaving, and no doubt it was probably a blow to Dave Murray as well.
Yeah.
You know, him being so long-term friends since childhood with Smithy and all, and little glimpses that were insightful to that.
No more spoilers.
No more spoilers.
No, I'll tell you, some really, really good stuff in there, you know, as well.
Brilliant stuff.
We would think that we know a good lot about Maiden and have been there for 30-odd years.
Yeah.
40-odd years now. But anyway, and just there's some stuff that surprised us. A couple of eye-openers.
Yeah. Yeah, there was. And also not. I think one of the things I've learned also not. Yeah. No, as in I think one of the things I've learned from doing our Ed Factor podcast, which if you haven't seen us before,
go and have a wee look.
Feel free to.
And there is more stuff coming, I promise.
There's more content on the way.
We've got tickets to a certain concert as well, so we'll definitely be on with that.
But one of the things I've learned about, I used to think Maiden kind of meticulously planned everything and all that. They don't. They just kind of get on and do.
Yeah.
They don't really. They're, you know, and that kind of came across with the Resurgence.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
There was no big meeting between Bruce and Adrian. It was
not that in particular. You know, and we spent about an hour talking about that. Yeah.
I think we could be great.
I think it was probably longer us talking about it than empty, but anyway.
And that was it. They went to the pub. There was that.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think that in some ways sums up. They just get on with it.
Yeah.
And
if anything, it cements the fact that Dave Murray is the unsung hero of Maiden. And that's all we're going to say.
That comes through in that in that era of the band. But if you're a fan of the band, we'll say no more. Just watch. Yeah. I think
enjoy every minute
of it. I think it's a fantastic way to celebrate Maiden's 50th anniversary.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll look forward to continuing celebrating the 50th anniversary. And hopefully we'll get some content uploaded.
Try really hard.
Soon.
Yeah. Okay.
We have some more album reviews.
We've got stuff in the can.
Yeah. So and we will be going to Edfest on July the 11th. Yeah. So if you don't hear from us
until then,
we'll
be there.
We will be there, and we will be on
full debrief
on the 11th of July. So take it easy, guys. Bye bye. How do you end it?
Push the X. No, I don't know. No, there. Wonders of modern technology.
No, that's gonna share the link.
Well, okay, cool.